Every day, you welcome a classroom full of bright faces, but behind those smiles lie stories of difficulty, sorrow, and hard times. You witness the challenges your students face, from academic struggles to personal hardships. It's heartbreaking to see a student struggle with such hardships, and as much as you want to help, sometimes it can feel like you're carrying their burdens too. These experiences can take an emotional toll on you, leading to what's known as secondary traumatic stress or compassion fatigue. Secondary traumatic stress is the emotional toll that comes from witnessing the trauma and suffering experienced by others, such as your students. Before we explore secondary traumatic stress or compassion fatigue any further, we're going to make sure we're all operating on the same definitions of some key ideas: sympathy, empathy, and compassion, as they are interconnected yet distinct concepts. Sympathy is the feeling of pity or sorrow for someone else's misfortune. It involves recognizing and acknowledging another person's emotions without necessarily understanding or sharing those feelings. For example, imagine a student who is frequently absent from class due to family issues at home. A sympathetic response from the teacher might involve acknowledging the student's difficulties and offering words of comfort or support, such as expressing understanding for their situation and reassuring them that they can catch up on missed work when they return. Empathy goes a step further than sympathy. It involves not only recognizing and understanding someone else's emotions, but also sharing those feelings to some extent. Empathy requires putting yourself in another person's shoes and seeing things from their perspective. It's about connecting with their emotions on a deeper level. Returning to the previous example, going beyond sympathy, empathy involves actively understanding and sharing in the student's feelings. An empathetic teacher might take the time to listen to the student's concerns, ask open-ended questions to understand their perspective, and validate their emotions. The teacher might also share some personal experiences of overcoming challenges to show solidarity and connection. Compassion builds upon empathy by adding a proactive element. Compassion involves not only understanding and sharing someone's feelings, but also being motivated to help alleviate their suffering or improve their situation. It moves beyond simply feeling for someone to actively wanting to make things better for them. Returning one more time to the chronically absent student, a compassionate educator might work with the school counselors or administrators to provide additional resources or support services for the student and their family, such as tutoring assistance, counseling sessions, or access to community resources like food assistance programs. When we cultivate a culture of empathy and compassion, teachers and school leaders create a more supportive and understanding environment where students feel understood, valued, and empowered to overcome obstacles and succeed academically and emotionally. With these concepts in mind, let's go back to compassion fatigue or secondary traumatic stress. Compassion fatigue can manifest in various ways. You might notice symptoms like fatigue, irritability, feelings of hopelessness, or even physical ailments. These signs can take a toll on your well-being and effectiveness as an educator. But here's the good news. You're not alone, and there are some simple steps you can take to combat secondary traumatic stress and cultivate resilience. First, prioritize self-care. Just as you teach your students the importance of well-being, remember to practice it yourself. Whether it's setting aside time for relaxation, pursuing hobbies, or seeking the support from colleagues, self-care is non-negotiable. Next, incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine. Mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing exercises or mindful moments with your students can help ground you in the present moment and reduce stress. Lastly, practice shifting your mindset. While you can't control the challenges your students face, you can control how you respond to them. Focus on the positive impact you're making and celebrate small victories along the way. And as we navigate these challenges, remember that self-care isn't just about what we do outside of school. It's also about creating a supportive environment within our workplace. By implementing self-care practices both in and out of school, we equip ourselves to combat secondary traumatic stress, nurture our well-being, and support our colleagues. This powerful combination is what allows us to focus on what we are most passionate about: teaching students. In the journey of education, we have to remember to prioritize our well-being. By taking care of yourself, both in and outside of work, you're better equipped to support your students. While it takes a concerted effort, working together, we can foster a culture of resilience and well-being throughout the school, creating a thriving environment where both staff and students excel. By prioritizing our own mental and emotional health, we create a ripple effect of positivity within our classroom, school, and beyond. Now is the time to dedicate effort to both your students and yourself to ensure that everyone is equipped with the strategies they need to overcome obstacles and become the best version of themselves.